How's it going, traders? Welcome back to the Flow Zone channel. Yet again, just traded the first hour today and I am done making my money, about 800 bucks today. Traded a bit smaller size just because of where we are and the type of trade it was. Was it an A plus? No, so I sized down that little bit, but still making some great money from an hour's work. So before I show you the trades and I'll speed them up and talk you through them, I want to jump into a trading view chart just so I can help you understand the setup, so next time it occurs you can make some money on these plays just like I did today. All right, so let's jump into that right now. So here we go. Here is a trading view chart. Now the market is still open, okay? So I want you to understand the market's still open, still moving. But what did I see? So I've anecdoted this for you right here. So coming into the day's open, what am I looking at? The first thing I mark out, this previous day high, previous day low, previous day open, previous day close, right? I'm interested in those levels always. Then I mark out this ETF pre-market high. Now that is the high we put in before the market opens between 8:30 and 9:30. I'm interested in that level and I'm interested in the low between 8:30 and 9:30. Why am I interested in those levels more than the Asia and London levels? I'm interested in those because I know that's when New York traders are starting to trade the SPY ETF. That's where the volume is, that's where the options are. These levels matter to me. And coming into this, what did I see over the London and Asia range? All that we did was just move up consistently, never taking any of the buyers out of the market. So they were sitting very pretty. Now what does that mean? That means there's a high chance we're going to come and take them out the market before we do any move, right? The market does not want people to just win easy, taking a position overnight and moving up all day the next day. That's an unlikely scenario. So I'm looking for a trap. I'm looking for a bull trap at the open, much like yesterday. And I want the trap over previous day's high. And here we get it. Drive 1, drive 2, drive 3 between this pre-market low to pre-market high. And this golden box down here is the ETF gap fill. So this is where we closed into the distance to the open today, okay? So we have this huge gap to fill. This means everyone from London and Asia is in this area here. It's much lighter volume. So I wait for that push at the open. We get a beautiful trend line fail. We wash down under VWAPS. This is where I start attacking it, okay? Covering my first bit into this gap fill. We then extend all the way up. Now I was very cautious here. You'll see I don't actually take this position because I'm worried about a V shape. So I wait for it to confirm and break down before re-attacking it. We get the flow zones turn. We stay heavy underneath VWAP. We fail this imbalance from this big engulfing candle, the first trigger, okay? We fail this pre-market high and we fail the previous day high. And if you wanted to, you could also do a fib for this leg. Okay, and we come back into the golden zone. So it's an absolute perfect retracement for a short follow-on. And if you missed that or were a bit nervous about taking it like me, then you could have waited and just simply taken this breakdown of this flag under VWAP for the wash. Now, what were my targets? This was a key thing. I was very, very concerned about this 5-day SMA I have down here. That's this blue line. I have this NFP anchored VWAP. If you don't know how to use anchored VWAPs, I teach a great lesson on this. It went live on Sunday. I will post it in the description. These anchors are really going to make a difference to your trading, all right? They're going to give you great targets to take your profit into, and they're going to give you good triggers to get long and short from. So as you can see today, we tapped it right to the penny. So I knew buyers would look to step in there. The same buyers that ripped us up from NFP last Friday were looking to step in there, and I was very, very aware of it. So that close to the 5-day, that was key for me looking for covers, and I also had this key level, right? This was where we broke out from yesterday. If I just zoom across a little bit, you can see we did this like beautiful inverse head and shoulders, and we were holding this level. So we held it there, we held it there, we built liquidity on it before, we built liquidity on it here. So I knew there was a good probability buyers would try and step in there. So I was very, very cautious about this area, and as you can see now, we're doing exactly that. It's based, and it's going to use all the shorts who got late now for a potential move up to come and test this area that we broke down from, and if it can base over here, it has a chance to move higher. So you have to take the profits when they're there. You have to understand what the high probability setup is, and why you want to take profit there. So before I talk you through the trades, I want you to understand why I used less size today. The reason I used less size is quite clearly on the higher time frames. We are in a bullish trend, all right? Even though we are at supply, we are in a very bullish trend. And I do not want to be using full size on a reversal play, all right? I use half size. I want to be full size when I'm looking bullish here, and I want to be half size until this confirms, all right? Until that 1 hour, the M15, the H4 and the daily start to look bearish, which for me will be a break underneath here, retesting to get heavy. Then I'm confident using full size short because I'm in line with multi time frame trends. So let's jump into the trades now. I'll talk you through them. Hopefully it will help you. If it does, please let me know in the comments. If you've got any questions that you want me to go over in the next video, please let me know. I am here to help. Trade safe. So into trade one here, and you can see it's broken down with that big engulfing, and I'm expecting it to dive under the previous day close and previous day open, all right? And I'm currently entered on VWAP. You can't see it on this chart, but that's where it is. My entry is on the failure of VWAP. So I get my stop in break even. We have a little in volume imbalance on VWAP there, and I'm expecting lower prices. And as you can see, I'm trying to target that gap fill if we can start moving lower here aggressively. So the hardest thing with trading smaller size on these counter trends is sometimes I'm only using one contract like this and I don't have a runner, and it means I can't lock something in and then move my stop down. So that's one thing that I find a little bit tricky here. Like, I could have already locked 250 in here and held one if I had two contracts on, so I have to be a little bit more cautious. So I've got my stop just above that little gap on the 1 minute and it doesn't get protected, knocks me out. That's fine. I'll take my profit, look for a re-entry. Here's my re-entry pretty much straight away. So I'm building a bear flag here on a lower time frame, which is why it looks a little bit odd on a 5 minute, and we're starting to break down from it, which is why you can see I have an entry here. So we also failed back under previous day close and we're on previous day open, still expecting that gap fill where I'll lock another one in. Here's the dive down, take it off slightly early, we rebuild that bear flag and I take another entry as we're starting to get heavy here. So I'm just going to try and let this work now. I've already locked some good money in, and as you can see it's now aggressively moving down, failing underneath that gap fill. So now I have to think about what I can target. Okay, so I keep zooming out, having a look. You can see my entries there, just walking the trade down. Can we get to the previous day low and previous weekly levels, which is where I have that limit? So now I'm just marking out what I need for a continuation, a short and a break of structure. So I want to see if it rebalances this level up here before diving down. I'm not going to add on because I don't feel super confident while I'm watching Dixie mess around as usual, bouncing off the 5 day and then coming back in. No aggressive move from it, and the same for VIX. VIX is still around 16, so we haven't had that big push up. I need from VIX to know that we're going to wash lower on the ES. So I mark out another imbalance here. You won't see it on this chart, it will be on a lower time frame chart, but this is what I'm looking to be protected. So I move my stop down to make sure I'm going to get some profit no matter what. Now the blue box below I'm very aware of. It has the 5 day MA, it has the anchored VWAP, it's H1 support, and we keep holding it. So you can see here I keep moving my limit around because I'm actually watching the liquidity on Bookmap to see where buyers are, and I'm trying to get out just before them. I see them step in and I just take the profit off, walking away for the day, knowing that the buyers are highly likely to step in and protect this IB low.